because there is nothing he can say to you as a female that
That's right.
isn't going to come across as him being, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Aggressive.
You could
Yep.
talk to him however you want, and you can be as obnoxious and aggressive and point and put your finger in his face, and that's
Yep.
okay.
Call him
But
Polly Pocket.
welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi. Oh my God. I just blanked.
See what happens when none of us are wearing a We Wine Whenever shirt? We forget what we're doing.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly, I think.
Yep, we are talking about The Valley, Season 3, Episode 15. It's my birthday, and I'll cry if I want to. But before we get into this, I would like to do our call to action. Please head over to YouTube and subscribe and follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and give us 5-star reviews and comment and let us know what your thoughts are.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it's my birthday. I'll cry if I want to. This is getting so exhausting. Episode 15. I was like, oh my gosh, this has got to be the last episode, but it's not. We
It's
still have
literally
to see
15 episodes of them coming
the
at
same
Danny.
thing.
Same
All
thing over and
exactly.
over again.
I cannot believe we spent 15 episodes going after Danny.
And I'm
It's
going to be honest
exhausting.
with you. In the beginning of you and I have maintained how we feel about this situation this whole season.
Mhm.
On social media in the beginning of the season, we were definitely in the minority where people were still like, Danny has to be accountable, blah, 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 blah. I have seen such a 180 on social media with how everybody is like, enough. Enough. I find that
I
very
know.
interesting.
I do
How
too.
boring is this reunion going to be, by the way? That the whole season, this is what it was about.
It's
This reunion
ridiculous.
is going to suck.
It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. So we start off
Totally
the
agree.
day. This is Danny's birthday day. So the next morning, because Zach's party was the night before, and he has, the stitches in his head. Of course, he's he's got the worst headache of his life. 1, because he's hungover, and 2, because he hit the sign. His head
Hit
hit the
his head.
sign. Yeah. I thought it was funny when he said, I didn't go on a GLP-1 just to be fat for my birthday, because his face was all fat. It's like, you're so funny.
That was
I'm
funny.
I like Zach. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't even like Zach. I mean, how can you not like Zach? I just think
I feel like even if you didn't like him before, like, I just feel like he's having a great season.
I do
He's
too.
he's like a breath of fresh air when he's in the scene.
I think so
It's
too.
it's better than Janice
Oh my gosh, it sure is. It sure
and her
is.
robotic the way
Yeah.
well, whatever.
So the next morning we see Brittany and she's woke up and she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't sleep in my compression stuff. And Janice like, well, we tried to get it on you. Like we did our best. The best we could do was get your bra on. It's because you were so trashed. You were
That's
so
right.
trashed.
And listen, she says that she needs to rest. She needs a day. You're hungover. Say you're
Right.
hungover. Are you
Right.
afraid to say you're hungover? Because, like on the after show, I don't know if you watched it, but she said that she doesn't like being compared to Danny because it's gives her PTSD from the first season when Jax called her out for being drunk that day whatever, who gives a shit? You are a sloppy drunk and you were hungover. So just say it. And your friends are covering up for you.
Yeah. Because not for nothing. I mean, Zach was hungover. Jasmine was hungover. Schwartz was hungover.
Mhm.
They were all hungover. Everyone who drank was hungover.
Absolutely. And listen, it probably wasn't the best thing for Brittany post-surgery to be on a boat,
No,
but that's not why
no,
she wasn't going, because I
no,
feel like if she weren't hungover, she would have gone.
no. And I mean, not for nothing because, Janet didn't go and Lala stayed back to be with Janet. So Brittany could have used that excuse too if she wanted to, but she didn't. Like,
Yeah.
she didn't get out of bed. She didn't go to the pool,
Right.
right?
And now we know why Lala stayed back to have that conversation with Janet. I don't even want to comment on that conversation, but we'll get there.
So we also find out that not only is it Danny's birthday, but it's also Danny and Nia's 10th anniversary, which I thought, well, that's really nice. Like, that's an accomplishment, especially in this
Huge
world that they're living
accomplishment
in,
with all those little
right?
kids. Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Living where they live, being in the industry that they're in, having all those kids. Yes, it's an accomplishment.
Right. And even Janet in the morning, not Janet, Janet is talking to Michelle, and Michelle's like, I am so tired. Like, did you see me on the bar stool? Look, yes, Michelle, we all saw you on the bar stool. And it did look like you were having a great time, but good for
She
you.
did. I like seeing Michelle like that.
I do too. I like seeing them all have a good time. I do.
The thing is that this group obviously drinks together a lot. So if you're uncomfortable being around Danny when he drinks, don't go out drinking with him. You guys continually go out drinking with this man. Don't.
Exactly.
Just don't.
Exactly. So Danny's theme for his party was Miami Vice, and they get this really cool catamaran. And Danny kind of called it. The group didn't, with the exception of Jesse, nobody knew what Miami Vice was. I mean, Jesse nailed it with his outfit.
Jesse nailed it. I mean, I don't know if I would have worn velvet shoes on a boat, but
no, he wore them that
nailed it.
night, the velvet shoes. He wore them that
that's
night.
right. That's right. That's right.
On
They
the
weren't
beach.
on the boat.
He
Okay,
wore those on
that's
the
right.
beach.
Which also wasn't a great idea, but at least it wasn't
No.
on the boat.
Yeah.
I liked when
Danny
Janet
was-
says it's the best gift she can give Danny by not going to his birthday, and I thought, it's really the best gift you can give us, Janet. So
Yes,
thank you.
it's so true. It really is. So then Zack is talking to Jasmine about what Janet texted Brittany, and he said that he wanted to know what Janet said. And Zack wants to talk to Kristen, but like they're not going to talk about it on the boat, which I agree that was not the place to do it. So then Janet is with Lala, and she starts telling her about her trauma that happened, when she was in school and what happened to her. And listen, my heart goes out to her. It does. It does. But for you to carry that and to put that on somebody else and not think that it's a problem, and for you, Lala, to co-sign that, I call BS, because you've had it so hard, Lala. You've said this many times, because you picked the wrong man who was a horrible person.
Mhm.
And
While he was married with children, you were screwing
Right.
him.
Yep.
Lala, not Janet,
Yes.
obviously.
Right. And listen, don't come for this man like this, because you're triggered, then you avoid it. You avoid him.
The thing is that I don't want to comment too much on what Janet was talking about because I wasn't there and I don't know what happened. But
No, I agree.
two things. As the mother of a son, it has always frightened me that anybody can say anything about anyone. Anyone can accuse, and I'm not saying this because I don't believe Janet. That's not why I'm saying this. But as the mother of a son, it has always frightened me that a girl can accuse my son of anything, really. So I feel bad for her that, she didn't do something about it when it happened. Maybe she didn't realize. I know she said she didn't. So again,
She said she didn't. Right.
Yeah, I'm not taking any of that away from her. However, what Danny did 2-3 years ago to Jasmine and Melissa was not sexual assault. Jasmine has said it was not sexual assault. Now, so we're not comparing Danny to this guy who did this to Janet because it's apples and oranges.
Right.
However, if she had said last season or whenever that was, when she was in the pantry with Danny, if she said this back then, this would be so different. But
Right.
she didn't. She didn't. She made it about his drinking. She made feeling uncomfortable in that pantry about his drinking. Personally, I feel that it is now convenient for her to say that she felt uncomfortable now because of what happened to her when she was younger. And again, I am not saying I don't believe her. I do. And I feel terrible that had happened to her. I do, however, think that she's using that now because it's convenient.
Listen, I
hope I don't get
this.
a lot of backlash for that.
I mean, listen, if you do, you do, because I mean, we all agree that what happened to Janet back then was horrible. And
Horrible,
that
horrible. And
was
actually,
that
I have a friend that actually happened to. So when she was telling the story, I sympathized with her very much so,
yes, and
because I
it
think that
honestly,
that happens more than you know.
I 100% agree with that. I do think it happens more than we know because people are afraid to report it because it's gonna be their word against somebody else's, and they
And
feel shame and they feel embarrassment, and none of that should be, but that's the reality of what the situation is, right?
and you do leave the situation thinking like, "Wait, did like I don't even know what just happened. Like, I don't know what just happened because you didn't have the strength to stop it, but that doesn't mean that you were consenting." So, yeah, see, I could really
I
choke up
know.
thinking
No,
about it because that's
I know.
horrible
It's
that that
horrible.
happened to her. Yes.
It's absolutely horrible. It's horrible. But what really bothers me about this whole situation that one particularly with Lala involved in it and Brittany and Janet and those three together riding so hard is what we've said about Jax for all these years. Brittany and Jax and Lala have been together for 10 years.
Mhm.
They've been together for more than 10 years, to be quite honest with you. They've known each other. And they were covering for Jax all those years. And even in the after show, Brittany admitted that when she saw Nia, she said, I probably would have done that for Jax.
Right.
So
She did do it for
again,
Jax.
right.
She did do it
So
for Jax.
where was Lala for you then? Where was Janet for you then?
Right. Right.
And like, this is not Danny coming after Janet.
No.
This
He's
was an
avoiding her
incident
like the
that
plague.
happened. Right. This is an
He's
incident that happened 3 years ago with Jasmine and then a year ago or in the closet that we didn't know well, I mean, we knew the incident happened in the closet, but we didn't know why she felt that way about it.
But she made it about his drinking. She made it about
She
him
did.
going in and swigging tequila.
Yes.
That's what she made it about when it happened. Listen, she didn't even have to come out and tell the story a year ago. All she could have said was, "That made me feel uncomfortable because of something that's happened in my past. It was triggering for me." She could have even just said that, but she didn't. She made it all about his drinking.
Right. Right. Yeah. I know.
But that's why I don't wanna take away from her story, though. I don't, because that's horrible,
No, I don't either.
horrible.
I don't either. She's like, I wanted to have this conversation Janet says this to Lala. I wanted to have this conversation a couple times with Jasmine, but I didn't want to make this about me. I
Again, so when they were sitting at that table and she was telling Nia she knows what it's like to be with an addict, that would have been an opportunity for her to address Jasmine, because you were 100% making it about you at that table already. So that would have been the opportunity to maybe not share maybe she's just that comfortable with Lala. Well, I mean, she was on national television, so she was telling everybody. But, having that conversation on camera with Lala, but you could have said something. You could have said something, and you probably wouldn't have come out as the villain that you are right now. It's been so much now, though. That's why I just feel like it's just a matter of convenience.
No, I agree. So then on the boat, Tom is so sick. He's like laying on the ground in the back of the boat, and Michelle and Lacey are a little bit seasick. So they're in the back of the boat, and
Did you see Zack almost
Mich-
hit his head again?
yeah, I did. I did. I did. He's just so damn tall is the problem.
He
I mean,
is
he's tall. So tall.
He's so tall.
So Michelle sits down next to Lacey and she's like, I don't even know how to say this, but it's hard for me to talk, to talk to you like something about that I'm dealing with my own internal stuff. I so loved that Michelle had this conversation with Lacey. I thought it was such a mature thing to do. I thought she was so vulnerable. And I said this the other day when we saw it was coming. I was like, Lacey's going to get it. Lacey's
Mhm.
going to get it. And I've seen like a totally different Michelle this year. I really have. I mean,
Yes.
the first year we saw her and Jesse were in the midst of the divorce, like not exactly, but they were, like they weren't really together. The next year she was with Aaron, and now we see her on her own, and she's lost Aaron, she's lost her mom. She's, doing it on her own and being vulnerable. And
Yeah.
I applaud her. I applaud
Me
her.
too.
I
Me too.
do. And I also like that, you know, she is still trying to be friends with Janet, but she's not pushing it as hard as Lala and Brittany.
No, and we see at the end, like, she basically says, like, "Just apologize." That's what he wants, just apologize. I know we'll get there, but it's like
Yeah, no,
so
you're
at
right,
least
though.
Michelle even after Michelle had that conversation with him, we'll get but yes, I agree.
So, she's explaining to Lacey that, it's hard, it's hard for me to see you and Jesse, how he treats you. He's so loving towards you and he's so, kind and affectionate. And I begged him for that for years and he just didn't do that for me. And she's like, there was a time when I really loved him and I'm happy for you. It's not that I want him back. It's not that I have feelings for
Yeah,
him.
it's got nothing to do with her feelings for him, yeah.
It's she goes, "It's me, it's internally, like, it just hurts me to see that," and you could see the expression on like, they were both wearing glasses. I wrote this down, like, Lacey has glasses on, like, you could see in her expression on her face that she is 100% healing feeling that, and then all of a sudden, she, like, reached under and, like, I didn't know she was crying, but then I mean, I saw it in her expression, and I was like,
Yeah.
she was and I love that she did that, and I love that when, she got off the boat that Lacey spoke to Jesse, and,
Yeah.
he
He
was
was a little snarky at first, I feel like.
he absolutely was, he was.
Yeah. But she put him right in his place. I mean, he's very
Yeah.
salty about the Aaron thing. I think he really does believe that she was dating Aaron before they got separated, or Aaron had something to do with it. But obviously, their marriage was not, that was on the rocks.
It was on the rocks, and I think because of who he is, he was salty about the situation, like, he didn't think that she would ever leave him, and then she had the courage to finally do it, and I think he was just, like, surprised. I think his ego was hurt. I think his ego was hurt, but
Yeah.
like I said, I think that Lacey's the best thing that's happened to him, I really do, because I think that she is very good for him. I do.
Yeah. I mean, did you see on the after show when Michelle was like, my problem with Lacey is that, we have these moments and then in press, she says something else.
Oh, I didn't watch the
I
whole
didn't
after
watch
show.
Jesse and Lacey on Watch What Happens Live yet. I still will watch it. Did you watch
Yeah,
that?
I did not see it yet, no.
I didn't either. I would like to watch it though, because I just think that they really have a great dynamic. But I thought that was interesting that Michelle said that in the after show. And I believe her. I don't think she's lying, but
Yeah.
everything can be taken out of context.
No, that's very true, especially in the media today. So they're done with this really deep conversation that Schwartz is sleeping on the floor right there in front of them.
The worst thing you could do with a hangover is go on a boat.
Definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
I don't know what he was
So they
thinking. He
get to
should have
the
stayed
beach.
back.
I know, he should have. They get to the beach, and there's this beautiful food set up there.
Danny got Nia the infinity ring for their 10-year anniversary. The one she wanted 10 years ago and couldn't get it, and he remembered and went back and got it. What an asshole.
I know, right? Like, it's so thoughtful. It's so
He's the
thoughtful.
worst. I'm sure if Lala heard that, she'd have something to say about it.
She sure would. But then when Jesse asks Kristen if she could go for a walk with him, and he tells her what Luke said, I was like, Jesse.
I know. I mean, I know it's a reality TV show. I know you have to move story along. We should actually be grateful because it's the one scene we're not talking about Danny drinking.
This is
But it
true.
was definitely messy.
It was messy, and I felt bad for Kristen. I felt really bad for Kristen. And then, when she gets back on the boat and she tries to talk to Luke about it, you know, obviously it didn't go well. Luke was a little defensive and,
Lacey
you
told
know,
Jesse it wasn't cool what he did.
yeah. And she's right.
She is
Sh-
right.
she's right, right?
Yeah.
Kristen's trying to make like her point, that I'm giving you everything I can. And listen, Luke is just trying to say, and he's been saying this the whole time, I get it, but you need to give me credit too. This is all new for
Mhm.
me too. I'm not in my element. LA is not where I'm from. Like this is not I'm doing the best I can do. Like, you gotta give me credit too. And
Listen, when she said, do you not want to get married or whatever, she asked him, and he's like, I eventually want to get married, but if
right,
you were to ask me tomorrow, I'd say we weren't ready. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's
right.
nothing wrong with that.
No, there
That's
absolutely
actually
is nothing
smart
wrong with
and
that.
mature.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. So they're back from the boat ride, and, Luke and Kristen at this point, they're really not that great. He apologizes. He said, "I said something really stupid."
He does
But they're back
apologize.
from Yeah, they're back from the boat ride, and, Michelle goes back to Lala and Janet's room, and she tells them that she had this little cry with Lacey, and,
Could
she
Lala and Janet fawn over Michelle anymore? Like,
I
listen, I
know.
know this is your girl and you ride hard for her, but relax. Relax. Like, we know Lala likes to eat the cookie sometimes, and now we got Janet saying she's really bisexual. All these things we're learning about Janet in season 3. Isn't it amazing?
It is amazing. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. But she felt lighter, and she was glad that she had that conversation. And then Luke and Kristen are back in their room, and, Kristen, you know, Luke says to Kristen, like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's like, "I'm sorry I got a little defensive." And I don't know why Jesse's, like, trying to make this shit harder. He said, like, "I thought he was my friend." And I agree with him. I don't know why Jesse was doing that. I don't. I really don't. And I really thought that Jesse was Kristen's friend too. I thought that Kristen and Jesse were getting along very well. I mean, you can see that Kristen and Lacey get along very well, right?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know.
that Jesse really was just trying to stir the pot a little bit and, make for good TV, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Kristen even said, which I was glad she said this. She said to actually she said it to Jesse. She's like, "I'm doing everything I can, like with this postpartum. I'm on medication. I'm seeing my therapist. So at least we know she's doing those things, and she's still struggling." So they're getting ready for dinner. Benji's wrapping up Zach's head again.
Oh my god. When Tom Schwartz was like, "Are we the cutest throuple?" And he's like, let's all wrap our heads up in unity or solidarity." What
Something
he
like
is
that.
just so funny on this show. I love it. I love it.
And he was spooning with Luke on the
Luke,
boat.
Kristen's like, "What is happening here?" That
And he's
was
like, "He's the
great.
big spoon." I'm like, "Oh my God."
Oh my god. It's so funny.
Yeah, and this is where Jesse shows up with his velvet shoes on the beach.
That's it. There you go. There you go.
Danny announces again that it's his real 10-year anniversary. So they all start showing up, and Nia's like, "Okay, so the plan is we're going to get a drink, and then we're going to go over there and we're going to get some food." Then Danny asks Michelle if we're good, and Michelle said, "Yeah, we're good." And then Danny said, "Okay, because I heard the other day that you said I make you feel uncomfortable." She's like, "Well, I didn't say you make me feel uncomfortable. I said other people said you make them feel uncomfortable."
She said I was speaking on behalf of other people. You
Right.
shouldn't do that.
No. She said, "There are certain people that feel that once you drink too much, you act a certain way." Michelle said, "Like, if I were you, I just would not drink."
We agree
Okay.
with that. We agree with that.
Yeah, we do. And Danny said, "Oh, 100%, that's what I'm doing." And I was just like, "Ugh, okay, Danny."
So I think that what he meant by that, and I'm sure people are going to be like, because they're calling us the Danny cheerleaders. I think he meant like he's not drinking as much as he normally would.
Mhm.
I mean, he definitely lied about drinking at Zach's party, lied right to Zach's face. But in that moment when he said, "Yeah, that's what I've been doing," I think he meant I haven't been drinking as much as I normally would had this all not been going on.
Yes,
That's
I do
how,
too.
yeah.
So then Nia walks up when they're having the conversation. Nia said, "Okay, yeah, going forward, you know, we're talking about going forward." Yep. He said, 100%. I won't make anyone feel uncomfortable. Like, Nia wanted to make sure that Danny was clear that wasn't something that was being brought up about the past, that it was moving forward, because that's where the problem keeps coming up, is that
Yes.
it just keeps going back.
Mhm.
It just keeps going back.
Yeah, because we haven't seen Dark Side Danny. Like, yes, he's loud. Let's go. We all have a friend who does that. I get super annoying when I'm drunk. I'm a happy drunk. I'm not a mean drunk, but I get super annoying. I talk a lot. I know I do, but he's not doing anything wrong.
No, he's not. He's not.
Listen, I know people have a problem with the way he talks to Nia when he's drunk. That is between him and Nia, though. I think the good of Danny outweighs the bad of Danny, and that's how Nia sees their relationship and him as a husband. And honestly, what marriage doesn't?
No, exactly. Exactly. So, but then Danny says to Michelle, listen, I've never gotten an apology from her. And Michelle said, well, because she has a hard time apologizing for what you did. She thinks you're blaming her for everything. And then Janet comes up and Michelle says that if he wants an apology, then just give him an apology. Janet said, I can't. It's deeper. It's deeper than that. Michelle said,
But
well,
it's not, Janet, because what happened to you has nothing to do with Danny. It has nothing to do with Danny.
Right, because then Michelle says, just apologize for the words that you said. That's all he's looking for.
Right.
That's all he's looking for.
Because it's false. It's inaccurate. It's wrong. That's not what happened. It happened to you, and that is horrible. But it didn't happen where Danny was the perpetrator. It just didn't.
No.
And you said it did. You used those words.
Right. Right.
So that's what you need to apologize for.
Yes, and she just refuses to. And while this whole thing is happening, Lala's just like kind of standing there and like circling kind of. And then Nia comes and Lala says,
Circling is the perfect word for it.
It is, because that's what she was doing. Says, it's so interesting. Anytime somebody walks over there, she's like, Daniel, stop. It's been resolved. We're done here. And I'm thinking to myself, she does that because there is nothing he can say to you as a female that isn't going to come across as him being, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Aggressive.
Aggressive, right.
Yep.
Yes. And you could talk to him however you want, and you can be as obnoxious and aggressive and point and put your finger in his face, and that's okay.
Call him Polly Pocket. Imagine if somebody commented on your physical appearance. Fucking Tupac Lala. Somebody called her that on Facebook. Cracked me up. She grew up in an affluent neighborhood right outside of Salt Lake City, Lauren. You're not hood. You're not gangster. Take the fucking do-rag off. It's a joke. You're not tough. You're not big and bad. Dog. Like, stop with that. It's a joke.
Yeah, it is a joke. It is a joke. And, Nia's like, we're not going to talk about it. Danny said, listen, I just want to have a good time. Like, it's my birthday. And Nia's like, okay, well, then let's just do that. And Danny's like, well, then send her back up to the room. Like, he just doesn't want Janet there. And I don't blame him because she is the one who's bringing it down.
She's bringing it down, and Lala is rage baiting him every chance she gets. That's what she's doing.
100%. Yep. That's what she's doing.
Mm-hmm. If he says one thing out of line to them, he's going to get crucified.
And honestly, I've like been watching him really interact with Lala and interact with them. He is very calm. He's not drunk. He's not aggressive. He's not. I mean, when he said no shit and she lost it, he's like, I said no shit.
If you can't handle a man saying no shit to you, you really need to take the do-rag off. Because this whole tough girl act is a bunch of bullshit. If you can't handle a man saying no shit to you. He didn't say no shit, bitch, or you know what I mean?
No, I know.
He said no shit. I say that 25 times a day.
Yeah, I know.
She really gets me going, obviously.
So then Zack goes up and he says, the other day when we were all at the pool, we talked about our feelings and everything was great. And Danny said, well, she wasn't there, meaning Nia. And Danny said, well, we had a great conversation.
Well, I thought he meant because Janet wasn't there.
No. Maybe he did. Maybe that is what he meant. Yeah, maybe he did. Yeah. And then, but.
Because Lala was there, but Janet wasn't. So Lala wasn't,
right.
protecting or defending or whatever the hell she does.
Right. So he said, but that's the exact opposite conversation that they had when they were shopping. The other ones were shopping. And Zack said, well, I have some questions for some people because, well, it's also you, he says to Nia, and Nia says, okay, go for it. Zach said, Janet said you and Kristen specifically said that Brittany, me, and Jasmine. And Zach said that we were alcoholics. Nia said, no, it was actually Kristen. And she didn't say alcoholics. She just said that, you guys drink. And Kristen said, yeah, I 100% agree. She said Brittany is one of my best friends and she gets so messy when she's drunk sometimes. And then she says, we see Janet start texting. While this conversation is going on, then Brittany walks up and she's like, what are you guys talking about? And Nia said, we're talking about the other day. She said, first of all, I never said anything bad about you ever. Kristen is standing behind her now. And she said, everyone in this group has gotten messy before. Brittany said, okay, because that's not what I heard. Brittany said, no one ever was talking about Danny. What are you talking about? That's what they were talking about.
That's all they're talking about.
Right.
She says Janet's always the one to blame. Janet's the one that keeps bringing this shit up. And now Lala.
Nia said, no, that's not how she said it. Kristen said, does that sound like the way I would talk? And Nia said, consider your source. Now, Janet's not there yet. Brittany said Janet did not actually make it sound like it was a thing. She absolutely made it sound like it was a thing.
100%
Because you immediately said, as soon as you read the text. So how could you say she didn't make it?
Or whatever.
Right. And then Kristen starts yelling, well, why is the bitch texting you to begin with just to start a fight? And I was just like, oh. And then Jasmine walks over and Zack comes over and Nia said she just knows like what to do to start a fight. Like she twists things and Brittany is yelling and Jasmine and Zack are upset now. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is just getting out of control. Janet starts walking by and Kristen says, you are just an effing piece of work. You're such a piece of work. And that's when
I would have used another word.
Yeah, that's when it just went like off the rails. And Brittany's like, well, that no, she's not. Like, what do you like? She's immediately like
defending,
protecting Janet.
Mm-hmm.
But meanwhile, over at the table, Danny is sitting there with Jesse, Schwartz, and Lacey. And like they're having a calm conversation. Everything's going fine. They're talking about Michelle and, what happened. And Danny said that, like, why would you make this blanket statement about me? Like, then all fingers are pointed at me. I'm just so sick of it. And Lala walks up to the table and she sits down and she's like, I think that's a very easy way out. And
Fucking asked you, Lala. Nobody asked you, Lala.
And Jesse said
she can't help herself.
I love when Jesse said, then why don't you get away from the table? She goes, because I want to sit here. Jesse said, well, then join the conversation. Jesse said, if anyone has a problem with him drinking or dancing, they can go through me. Lala's like, oh, God. I love that Jesse was like, I'm drawing a line in the sand here.
Yep.
And then in her confessional, she's like, oh, yeah, like I have to go through you in your linen suit and loafers. Come on.
Like, seriously. I can't believe how she talks about people. If anyone said the slightest thing about her, it would be a big problem. The way she dresses, her physical appearance. Could you imagine if Jesse or Danny said these things about her?
No. So Danny's saying it's a serious issue. I went to the club and Nia said that there's a lot of people that like I make them feel uncomfortable when I shake my hips or I gyrate my hips. And then Lala's laughing. She's like, things happen at the same time. You're welcome. And Lala said, 2 things can happen at the same time. And Danny said, no shit. And that's when she's like, don't talk to me like that. I'm not your effing wife. You better check yourself. And I was like, she's like, you got the wrong
Check yourself
bitch.
From who? Yeah, she's really ridiculous. I mean, why? I don't know who she thinks she is. She looks like a complete jackass on this show now. I really hope she's a one and done and she's not back. She added nothing to this show. She made herself look like a big, giant jackass. She takes every opportunity to go after him.
She really does.
Especially if there's alcohol around.
She does. She really does.
Because remember on the beach, nobody was drinking, right? It was in the morning early. And she was like, I love this, Daniel. I love this. I love having this conversation with you, Daniel. And then at the pool, when they were all sitting there, right? She wasn't rage baiting him at all. The guy has a drink and she's on his jock. She's one of those people in sobriety that are like holier than thou.
She really is. And she's not, though. Like, she thinks she is, but she really is not. So then Nia comes walking over to the table and she's like, oh, good, you saved my plate. Thank you. I thought she was coming over to save him, but she didn't even realize what was going on at the time. She really was excited about her plate. And then she realized what was going on. And I was like, oh, poor girl, she was hungry. And as soon as she realized what was going on, she's like, Danny, like, just ignore her. Like, just ignore her. He said, I'm trying to ignore her. She's like, can we walk away at this moment? He wanted to stay and she wanted him to leave. And I get why she wanted him to leave. Because, like I said,
100% get why she wanted him to leave.
there's nothing he could say.
He could do. Yep.
There's nothing he can do.
Here's the problem. Well, first of all, when Lala said her sobriety depends on taking accountability, did she talk on the podcast with Randall's first wife about how she was fucking him while he was still married to the first wife and had children? Because unless she says that.
She does. She does.
Oh, all right.
She does. And she does take, honestly, she does. And she does take accountability for it, to be quite honest with you.
All right.
And they
I'll give her
honestly
that.
are, yeah. She does.
But I feel so Nia says that Lala's on a mission to antagonize Danny, and I totally agree with that. I feel like this is causing a lot of tension in Nia and Danny's relationship. I mean, Lala said it on Watch What Happens Live. She hopes she leaves him. Is this what you're doing? Is this what you're rage baiting this guy so bad and causing so much turmoil in his marriage? And listen, I'm somebody who say, oh, well, if they have a strong enough marriage. Bullshit. When someone's causing this many problems where you're making you're forcing this woman to constantly defend, take up, diffuse for her husband. If you weren't doing this, she wouldn't have to, it's just causing too much turmoil in their relationship. So is this what you want, Lala? You want to be the reason that these two could possibly separate because
of Janet?
Because of Janet?
Right.
When Jasmine's the one who was part of the whole thing and isn't doing any of this? It's bananas to me.
I agree with you. So then Danny gets up and starts to walk away, and Lala says, let me tell you something, Danny. I've been sober for 7 years. And Jesse's like, my name is Jesse. She's like, well, you two are interchangeable.
Yeah, that's real nice. Imagine if somebody said that to her about somebody. Lala, when she's yelling at Danny and then she starts yelling at Nia. First of all, her aggression is off the chain. Her aggression in this situation, she should go call her sponsor because something's not right that you're getting this jacked up. This guy's not even doing anything. He's not being rude to you. He's not being rude to his wife. He's not being rude to Janet. He's not doing a fucking thing. It's his birthday. He wanted to have a couple of drinks. And you are getting so worked up over it. His wife is trying to diffuse the situation. You're getting in her face. And Lala says, you're worried about what he'll say. Of course she's worried about what he'll say. You're rage baiting him.
Yep.
I could tell you right now, this situation would be a lot different if it were Eric.
Listen, I love when Danny said, no one wants to have a conversation with you. Why don't you get out of here and go to your husband? And she said, honey, if this is what a husband looks like, I don't want it.
You're not going to get it, so don't worry.
You're not going to get it. And then as she's walking away, she's like, what's done in the dark is always brought to the light. And you're upset about that. No.
And then she goes over to the table and her hands start going and she starts attacking his physical appearance and Polly Pocket and all. How many times did you practice that line?
What is she said, you misogynistic, small little Peter Pocket looking mother effer. And Zack was standing there and he laughed. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. But then, I really felt so bad for Nia because she walks away. She's crying. Kristen goes there with her. She's like, I feel so, I'm not regulated. I have all these emotions. I'm trying to, make this work. This is my anniversary too. And my heart
and these
broke
are
for her.
supposed to be your friends. These are supposed to be your friends that you invited to your husband's birthday party. Listen, if you have that much of a problem with Danny's drinking, why would you go to his birthday party knowing that there's going to be alcohol there unless you were looking for a problem? It doesn't
she said
make
she was
sense.
hungry. She was hungry and she wanted to eat. Order
Lala,
room service.
you can afford to go buy yourself some dinner, honey.
No, Janet
It's
said that, actually.
ridiculous. Oh,
Not
Janet.
Lala,
Oh, that's
Janet.
right. Well,
Janet said
maybe
that.
she can't afford to go buy herself some food, so Lala will buy you food. And then
So then
Jasmine says, "I'm tired of this man for yelling at. I'm tired of this man yelling at women." Well, he wasn't even yelling.
I know.
Jasmine's from New Jersey, which was shocking that she would say something like that. Because if you're from
I
Jersey,
know.
you know this man was not even near where he could have gone.
I know. I know. I mean, poor Danny in his confessional, he said, I'm pissed that some of my friends I'm pissed that like my wife and I are like my wife is crying. We're not together at the end of the night. Like this is our anniversary. Like this really sucks. Like this is not what like why are we doing this? We don't need this.
So, listen, I understand where he's coming from. Where, like, I understand he didn't want to leave. It's his birthday, blah, blah, blah. But in his confessional, he is saying he wanted to end the night with his wife. Well, your wife wanted to leave. She wanted to go up to the room. You should have just went with her.
Oh, he definitely should have. He definitely should have.
But
I
then I
mean, and
also
we're
understand it's his birthday and he wanted to, like, at least be with, like, Jesse and, people who,
yeah.
I don't know. He should have just went upstairs, though.
He should have. I mean, actually, I don't know. I just feel bad for them because even when Nia got back to the room, I don't know what the nanny said to her, and she's like, "Just pray for me." I was like,
So on the after show, Lala said she heard Danny had said that he was warned about her, but he didn't practice enough because his insults didn't affect her. She was unaffected. I'm calling bullshit on that. She was definitely affected because if you were unaffected, you wouldn't keep clawing at him every chance you get. And you were the one insulting his physical appearance. And then your
right.
reaction to him just saying no shit, you are definitely affected by this man. And you should check yourself because that's a you problem, not a him problem. And somebody posted on one of our clips and said, are you still defending Danny and Nia after this dinner? And I thought, so I was like, okay. Like I saw that before I watched the episode. So I watched the episode, and yes, I am. Yes, I
I
most
am
certainly
too.
am.
I am too. I am too. I
I don't
mean,
know what the deal is, but if they go into a fourth season with this bullshit again, I I can't do it.
no. I mean, the next episode is Jasmine is trying on dresses, and then we see it's her and Melissa's engagement party, and Danny's getting his vasectomy. I don't know. I don't even know that I want to see the reunion because it's just going to be annoying.
Oh, I think the reunion's going to be a shit show. I think the reunion's gonna be horrible. If this is
I
all
don't.
we're gonna talk about again, come on.
I mean, we spent 15 episodes.
Yeah, this is too
It's
much.
it's really is. I mean, even I remember what did Lacey say? Something like how much therapy I'm going to need after spending 12 hours with you guys. Like I just like this is crazy. And it
Yeah.
is crazy.
Wild.
It's crazy.
Just wild.
All right.
Well,
So that's all we got, right?
that's all we got on the Valley. I mean, that it was a lot. I really hope it's almost over, though.
I think we have one more episode and then that's it. And I'll be good with one episode of the reunion. We don't need two. We certainly don't need
No.
three.
Oh,
Let's
God,
just do
no.
one and done. I mean,
Yeah.
there's really nothing to talk about. What is it to talk about? Okay, we'll talk about Jasmine's wedding. Okay.
Okay. I'll do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since
Yeah, you
it's
could show us some
in New
clips.
Jersey. I'm actually hoping she gets, like, a bonus episode for her wedding.
Oh, I doubt it. I
I
don't think
doubt
so.
it though, because not everybody was there, which I find, that's kind of annoying. Like I feel like Bravo should have given her that. I
Yeah.
would watch it if it were just an
Oh, I
extra
would watch it.
episode, like I didn't watch it. I would know you couldn't pay me. I'm gonna
Oh,
get a
we know.
T-shirt made up. You couldn't pay me, but Teresa only got a bonus episode of New Jersey. She didn't get a 3-part special like Tamra and Candy,
Tamara got a 3-part
Bethany.
special?
I believe so.
Really?
I'll fact check that, but I
All
think
right,
Tamara
fact
was the
check that
first one
one.
to get a 3-part.
Well, Bethany had a whole show, Bethany Ever
Yes,
After.
she
She got a whole
did.
spin-off. All right, so that's it for the Valley. Are you fact checking it right now?
The miniseries aired on Bravo in September 2013 and chronicled the weeks leading up to her wedding. Her specific wedding special had a 3-part wedding special. I think Tamara was the first
Wow.
one.
Wow.
And
I
then
don't know that
Candy, of course.
I remember Candies. I don't know that I mean, I must have watched it, but I didn't make an impact on me because I don't remember it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving Teresa and Screwy Louie, Kooky Lou, whatever we're calling him,
No, you're
Looney
calling him
Lou,
Screwy Louie.
Red Face, Screwy Louie.
Wait, Screwy Louie. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're giving him a bonus episode, throw Jasmine a bonus episode. I'd rather watch them.
It's very true. Very true.
All right,
So
that's it. We're done talking about this.
that's it. Until next time, thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.